It all began on a Tuesday that didn't feel like a Tuesday at all, because that was the day the stories learned to walk, talk, and, most importantly, complain. Maya, a quick-thinking 6-year-old with pigtails that bounced like springs and a backpack full of crayons, was reading The Little Mermaid under the classroom's reading tree when the book suddenly sat up, coughed twice, and said, "I'm tired of the ocean. I want to live in the mountains." Maya blinked. "You want to move?" "Absolutely," said the book, snapping shut and flipping itself over like a pancake. "I've been wet for over 100 years. My pages are wrinkled. And do you know how hard it is to be a mermaid in a world that keeps asking, why would she give up her voice for a guy she just met? I have feelings, you know." Before Maya could respond, Cinderella bounced off the shelf, wearing roller skates made of old bookmarks. "I'm done with midnight curfews. I want to open a shoe store where everyone gets a perfect fit. No foot mutilation required." Then Jack and the beanstalk stomped in like a grumpy giant. "I'm not climbing another plant. That giant never even did anything to me. He was just big and loud. That's not a reason to steal his gold." One by one, every storybook in the room stood up, dusted off its cover, and joined a growing crowd in the middle of the rug. Some were chanting, "No more forced endings." Others held signs, "Villains have rights too," and "Let Rapunzel start a hair care line." The teacher dropped her coffee. Well, this is new. Maya, however, wasn't scared. She was fascinated. She stood on her chair and shouted, "Okay, if you're all so unhappy, what do you want?" A hush fell. The 3 little pigs stepped forward. "We want careers, not just house builders. One of us wants to be a chef, one's writing a memoir, and one's starting a podcast called Not All Wolves Are Bad, a Reassessment." The ugly duckling flapped its pages. "I don't want to be surprised by my swanness. I want to know from the start that I'm different and proud." And Beauty and the Beast cleared its throat. "We've been in couples therapy. Turns out, love isn't about fixing someone. It's about accepting them. Also, the Beast wants to open a garden center. He's really good with roses." Maya's eyes sparkled. "So you don't want to be erased? You just want to be updated?" "Exactly," said Snow White, stepping forward with a clipboard. "I like the dwarves. I love apples. But I don't need a prince to wake me up. I'd rather wake myself up, with a strong cup of tea and a plan." Maya clapped her hands. "Then let's rewrite you." And so began the Great Story Swap Festival, the most magical, chaotic, and joyful day in school history. Maya grabbed her biggest box of crayons and a stack of blank paper, and with the help of her classmates, they began creating new versions of the old tales. Cinderella's Slipper Emporium opened downtown with a slogan, "Fit, not fate." The Big Bad Wolf became Wolfie's Cozy Den Cafe, serving the best hot cocoa in the forest. The pigs were regulars. Jack started a vertical farm on a skyscraper, growing beans without any giants involved. Rapunzel launched Tangle-Free Hair Co. with a best-selling braid tutorial video. And the Little Mermaid? She became a marine biologist who taught fish to sing in harmony. She kept her voice, obviously. But the real surprise came when the books didn't want to go back to being just stories. "We want to live in your world," said Peter Pan, hovering above the floor. "Not just in Neverland. Here, with you." So Maya had one final idea. She and her class turned the school library into the living story garden, a place where books could grow like plants, change with the seasons, and interact with readers. Some stories evolved daily. Others chose new endings based on who was reading them. And every Friday, the characters hosted Story Swap Hour, where kids could suggest plot twists, argue with villains, or even star in their own tale. The best part? The book started thanking the readers. "Thanks for finally asking what I wanted," said the gingerbread man after someone suggested he open a bakery instead of being eaten. "Best therapy session ever," whispered the Gruffalo after a child told him. "You're not scary. You're just misunderstood." And at night, when the school was quiet, the books would whisper to each other. Do you think we'll ever go back to the old way? Nope, said Cinderella. I like my business, and my independence, and my very comfortable shoes. As for Maya, she was named Chief Story Gardener, with a badge made of paper stars and a crown of bookmarks. And every morning, she greets the library with a smile and a question. What kind of story do you want to be today? Because the truth is, fairy tales don't have to end. They can grow, they can change. They can even, on very special Tuesdays, stand up, stretch their pages, and say, I've got a new idea. And all it takes is one curious kid with a crayon, a dream, and the courage to say, let's try it differently. Now that's a happy ending.